Hello everybody, welcome to the journey phase. So in this video today, I will be guiding you guys on how to crack the verbal ability section of the IPMAT examination. Okay, we'll be talking about the strategy for IPMAT in this particular video, but then the strategy shall remain same for most of the BBA entrances as such. CUET के लिए we'll have another video, for specific exams we'll have other videos, but then again this is a general strategy for verbal oriented examinations, mainly IPMAT. Okay, so first of all, it's really important to understand what all comes in the IPMAT examination from the verbal ability perspective. देखो यार, we have questions from grammar, reading comprehension, vocabulary, word usage, fill in the blanks, para jumpers and critical reasoning, right? So ग्रामर सेक्शन में डायरेक्टली आपका ग्रामर टेस्ट हो जाता है, राइट? फिल इन द ब्लैंक्स में भी आपका ग्रामर ही टेस्ट हो जाता है, राइट? मोस्टली, और समटाइम्स वोकैबुलरी भी आ सकता है, बट देन मोस्टली ग्रामर ही टेस्ट हो जाता है. देन देयर आर पैरा जंपर्स व्हिच रिक्वायर अ लॉट ऑफ प्रैक्टिस. देयर इज रीडिंग कॉम्प्रिहेंशन व्हिच रिक्वायर्स रीडिंग स्पीड. We'll talk about what all we have to cover. First, let's start with reading comprehension. देखो guys, reading comprehension का weightage अच्छा खासा weightage है, approximately more than 25% है, right? Around 25% मान लो. 1/4 आपका reading comprehension से ही आ जाता है. You'll have usually 1 or 2 passages. Minimum आपको 2 to 3 भी हो सकता है passages in your IPMAT papers, depending on which exam you're taking, right? Usually there will be at least a minimum of 2 RC passages minimum. Okay. So reading comprehension is a very important and integral part. इसके लिए what you need to understand is you need to understand the word reading comprehension. Okay? The word is itself composed of 2 parts. Comprehension means understanding or interpreting as such, and reading definitely refers to how fast you can read, right? तो इसमें 2 चीज़ें पे आपको ध्यान देना होगा. One is आपका reading speed and the other one is your understanding of the passage and your interpretation. इसके लिए आपको क्या करना होगा? You might be weak, you might be strong, but the pro tip number 1 is never underestimate reading comprehension. Even if your verbal is super perfect, practice daily. Okay? इसके लिए आपको क्या करना होगा? Practice daily. Along with daily practice, you need to read around 30 minutes daily. 30 minutes आपको इसमें टाइम देना ही पड़ेगा. आपको comprehensions पढ़ना होगा. You need to understand, you need to interpret. In the initial days, don't worry about the time taken. Don't worry about the time taken. Just read, analyze and understand. Okay? And as time passes, try to reduce the amount of time you take to read a particular passage. Like reduce करके gradually you start by taking a lot of time. You reduce the time gradually, and then you reach that optimum point where you get that score, you get that time management from your side. Because for the IPMAT examination, time management is the most crucial factor. Okay, time is the most crucial factor. So it's not whether you can actually read and understand the passage that matters. It's whether you can read and understand it within the stipulated time, because you have sectional time limits as well, right? Within the stipulated time, how much of a reading you can do and how much of an understanding you can make within that time is what matters. Okay? So do that. Then, as far as daily reading materials are concerned, newspapers mein you have to focus on The Hindu, because I personally prefer the editorials and the reading quality, the material quality and the article quality of The Hindu as such, Then if you have another English newspaper, you can feel free to start with that, but slowly progress towards the Hindu is what I would say. Okay. Now, you always can go back and take a screenshot of that particular slide. Okay. So as we are talking about the Hindu, okay, what should you read there? First, read the editorials. Second, read the international affairs page. You know, the page where they talk about all the global affairs, what is going on around the world. You can read these two. Okay. Then apart from that, you can read about, you can read the supplements. So every newspaper has some supplements, right? Maybe it's your happenings around in your city, or maybe it will be an economic supplement, or it might be a Sunday supplement. So try to read your supplements fully, along with that editorials and international affairs. So these three ideally should give you that ideal, comprehension types of what you're looking for. But apart from that, definitely reading headlines and news is highly recommended. Because you need what? You need current affairs also, right? Current affairs के लिए आपको पढ़ना ही होगा newspaper. Therefore, this is also highly recommended. But first, read editorials, international affairs, supplements, then come to headlines and news. Okay. Apart from this, solve RCs daily. You can refer to GMAT RCs, which are very good in my opinion. You can also refer to SAT comprehensions. Okay? These are also very good. Apart from that, you can, if you are a student of the TJP, you can use TJP material. And for those of you who are not enrolled to our courses also, we have free drive links on our Telegram channel, the link to which will definitely be given in the description below. So the TJP Telegram channel has a lot of materials for you to work out. Okay, so solve RCs daily from that. But if you're a member of our course, we will be giving you daily RCs. We'll be curating RCs for you to solve. Okay. Apart from that, let's move to the next element of the IPMAT strategy, which is grammar. Let's look at grammar. देखो यार, you have already learned grammar. Okay, you have already learned grammar up to your 10th grade, 11th grade. I think till your 10th grade, you're mainly focused on grammar. So you have learned a lot of grammar. That is quite enough. Let me tell you that. All you need is brushing up. Okay. Here at TJP, we will have concept videos trying to detail every single concept that is required for the IPMAT examination and beyond. But even then, let me tell you, you don't need to dive into a lot of concepts as such. You need just the basic concepts which are required for the examination. For our students, we'll be telling you which concepts are mainly tested in the IPMAT examination. We'll be giving importance to those concepts. Okay, we'll be just making you aware of the other concepts as well, just in case. That will be secondary. Our primary objective will be the exam-oriented topics. Okay. So, grammar, you just need a little bit of brushing up plus a lot of practice. So grammar में क्या क्या आएगा? Errors आएगा, error correction आएगा, sentence improvement आएगा, then fill in the blanks types आ सकता है, वगैरह वगैरह. You know the types, right? The basic types. तो इसके लिए आपको you need a lot of practice and you need a lot of mocks. Because देखो यार, what happens when you give mocks is, number one, your time constraint, your ability to perform under a time pressure is significantly improved. And number two, with time you get that intuition on how to approach questions, how to solve questions. We'll be helping you build that in our lectures, in our practice materials and whatnot. But then mocks will do that much of a perfection that you need, right? That perfecting part the mocks will take care of. So this is mostly about grammar. As you can see, this section indicates the sheer number of questions that you get in grammar, right? These two sections. So fill in the blanks में थोड़ा vocabulary भी आ सकता है, लेकिन mostly grammar ही आएगा. तो इधर भी आपका grammar का प्ले है. एंड इनडायरेक्टली आपका आरसी में भी ग्रामर हेल्प हो जाएगा, आपका पैराजम्बल्स में भी ग्रामर हेल्प करेगा ही करेगा. क्रिटिकल रीजनिंग में सब ग्रामर, वर्बल में सब आपको हेल्प करेगा ही करेगा. ठीक है, तो ग्रामर पे ध्यान देना. देन लेट्स टॉक अबाउट the next topic, which is vocabulary. Vocabulary के लिए आपको एक ही टारगेट है, नंबर 1, that is word power made easy. Do this book, please. Everybody do this book, okay? I would highly recommend that you do this, because it is not really about the content in the book that matters. It is about the approach that is followed in the book. Once you read this book, if you regularly revise through the exercises that this book has, the retention in your mind will be better. Okay? As far as vocabulary is concerned, the retention is the most important factor. So more than the number of words you have in your mind, it's important to keep revising the words so that it stays in your mind for a longer period of time. You know our retention curve, right? Our brain starts to lose information slowly and gradually. So you need to revise periodically ताकि आपका retention curve को आप restart करें, right? तो इसमें like this, periodically you will revise. Okay? So this is what is best for vocabulary. Word per medc कैसे solve करना है? आपको एक सेशन, like 1 to 2 sessions a day करना होगा, or more if you feel कि you have that power, you can do 3 to 4 sessions as well. I don't really mind, but depending on your capacity, 1 to 2 or 3 to 4 you can do. Okay, and then you have to do the exercises. Then this is the strategy for the exercise. Okay, so the word power made easy exercises, you have 2 exercises, right? after a chapter you have an exercise, then you have review exercises. So chapter exercise and review exercises. So what I'm trying to tell you is, once you're done with the session, you do the exercise of that session, right? you read, you do the exercise and whatnot. So in one go, the questions that you do not get, mark with a pencil. So let's suppose you're doing 2 sessions a day. In the first session, you have an exercise, suppose, and then you didn't get 3 questions. That 3 questions you circle with a pencil. Okay. Then you do the second exercise. In that second exercise, you didn't get another 4 questions. That you circle with a pencil. Then maybe the next day you revisit this first exercise and try to solve the questions you marked with the pencil. And among this, a few questions you will get, a few questions you won't get. So that questions you mark with a pen. Okay? The questions that you don't get the second time, you mark with a pen. Okay? ऐसा करके at the end of every week, revisit all the questions that you marked with the pen. Revisit all the questions that you marked with the pen and try to make it correct. If you feel you are making a mistake on a question again and again and again, repeated mistakes like 3 times ho gaya, 4 times ho gaya, write it down in a notebook. Okay? Like every week, revisit every single exercise with the questions that you marked with a pen. And then if you have repeated errors, write it down in a book. Then review exercises. I don't know if I messed the names of the exercises up. What I'm trying to tell you is the exercise after a particular chapter or a session, and the exercise towards the end, like after a bunch of sessions and whatnot. That is the review exercises, right? After a bunch of sessions, after a lot of sessions, after, So this review exercise, what you will do is, again, same thing. You will mark it with a pencil. Okay? Next day you will revisit, you will mark it with a pen. Then whatever you mark with a pen, you simultaneously write down in the book. Whatever you mark with the pen, you simultaneously write down in the book. Okay? And 1 or 2 days before the examination, you will look only at the book. You will look only at the book. You got what I mean, right? This is the strategy for word power made easy. So literally your word power will be made easy if you follow this strategy. Now, vocabulary is also done from our part. Vocabulary के लिए भी आपको newspapers पढ़ना होगा, because in the Hindu the vocabulary is a little bit tough. You will be acquainted with a lot of newer words. So try to grasp that in your mind. Okay. Vocabulary भी हो गया, reading comprehension भी हो गया, grammar हो गया, fill in the blanks हो गया. I told you, right? Grammar and fill in the blanks mostly the same questions. And then vocab का भी आ सकता है fill in the blanks. You know what to do. Then there's para jumbles and critical reasoning. Okay, तो para jumbles के लिए एक ही चीज है practice. More than theory, more than anything, do a lot of practice. Try to solve 3 to 4 sets daily of para jumbles. Okay, jaldi kadam ho jayega, lekin you will get that intuition. And then mocks. Because you will have formats where you have first sentence fixed, last sentence fixed. You'll have to rearrange all the 5 sentences, so on and so forth. उसके लिए आपको कॉन्सेप्ट पे एक दो बार आपको कॉन्सेप्ट समझना होगा. Then you start solving practice materials. You do 3 to 4 sets daily. You do 5 to 6 sets daily. The maximum number of sets you can do, you try to do that. So once you start doing it, at one point everything will start becoming easier for you. Again, for a few days the graph will be constant, and after some time there will be a slight reduction, and then after some time there will be an exponential reduction. Like in the toughness, and you will find it very easy. This is tough and this is easy. With time and with practice, this will definitely become easier for you. Just solve 3 to 4 sets daily. Okay. Then as far as critical reasoning is concerned, same thing, guys. Practice and do mocks. Okay. Same thing will work. I hope this sums up the verbal strategy. आपके लिए ये भी हो गया, ये भी हो गया, ये भी हो गया, ये भी हो गया. So let me tell you guys, in verbal section in general, newspaper plus mocks plus practice plus concept. इसमें प्रैक्टिस पे ध्यान देना ही देना है, मॉक्स पे भी ध्यान देना है, न्यूज़पेपर पे ही ध्यान देना है, कॉन्सेप्ट पे भी ध्यान देना है. 4 are equally important. So if your formula has all of these elements, okay, and you devote enough time to verbal ability, even if your verbal is strong, do a lot of practice, do a lot of mocks, and try to read editorials at least. Minimum you have to read editorial at least. Okay, then your verbal will be unstoppable, because your aim is not just to pass the cutoff, right? Your aim is to get a safe score in verbal, which is a minimum of 10 to 20 marks above the cutoff. You need 4 to 5 questions above the cutoff in verbal. At least 4 questions you need. Okay, which will give you a better boost in terms of the admission process. Okay, so make verbal your strong point. Verbal is a make or break section. I'm sorry. Don't let verbal break you, but instead let verbal lead you. Okay, let verbal lead you. All the very best. I'm pretty sure you will crack the examination with great vigor. For any assistance, please feel free to contact me, and you can always explore our courses at the journey phase. This is your verbal strategy. Thank you.